All I can tell y'all is that it's about to go down. All right.
Welcome to Southeastern, Minnesota's #1 podcast for high school sports. This is Tiger Nation and Beyond with your host, straight out of Stewartville, Adam Peterson.
Hey, what's up, Tiger Nation, and welcome into Tiger Nation and Beyond. This is season number 5, episode number 38, and we're full-fledged into playoffs here for spring sports. Actually, a few seasons have ended, and I can't wait to tell you about that. It is right here on Tiger Nation and Beyond. Tiger Nation and Beyond, the only spot you can see it is right here on the Razzle Dazzle channel on YouTube. Like, subscribe, just keep following. We have amazing teams that we can talk about, and I'm going to do that today. The first one we got to talk about, some golf teams in action. Boys and girls golf looking to try to go to state. I got the results here. Stewartville Golf will do boys and girls. It's a 2-day meet. 2 days. May 29th, May 30th is when this took place. I believe it was at Northern Hills in Rochester. Let's start off with the boys. Boys section golf. Oh! Stewartville boys finish in second place. You need to come in first to move on to state. But outstanding scores here. 312, 319 for a total of 631. Well behind a great Pine Islands and Broda Mazeppa team. 610 was their final score. La Crescent in third, 639. Lourdes, 647. Cannon Falls, 673. In terms of our boys finishers, 4 in the top 20. That's pretty darn good if you ask me. 2 guys tied for 12th place. Caleb Jansen, 77-79. The same as Austin Walker. They shot 156. John Becker, the senior, went 78-80 for 158. Good for 16th place. Parker Wong and the sophomore finished in 20th place. 81-81 back-to-back for 162. So great job by boys golf in the section tournament. Unfortunately, the team nor any individuals advanced on a state, so that would be the end. But how about the back-to-back HVL Conference Championships? A lot of wins during the regular season. I saw that. I caught up on that. Outstanding year by this boys golf team. Next up, girls section golf. In day 1, we shot 402 as a team. That was in 6th place. We need to be in the top 4, though, to advance to day 2. So unfortunately, as a team, our girls squad would be done for sections. However, individuals, day 1, this is what happened. Lauren Howe shot an 89. Rachel Bowden, 96. Elena Sickle, 104. Anna Howe, 113. Claire Reuter, 114. Olivia Larson, 127. So, to get into day 2 for individuals, Coach Lechtenberg told me you had to hit 104. That means we sent 3 girls to day 2, and this is what they did. Rachel Bowe shot an 83 on day 2, lowered her score 179, would end up tying for 15th place. Lauren Howe went 89-92 for 183. That was good for 18th. Elena Sickle ended her day with a 108, good for 212 strokes. 38th place is how she would finish. So great job by the girls golf team. Got 3 girls into day 2. I think you got to be happy about that. And Coach Lechtenberg wanted to be under 400. Well, what did I say? It was 402? We were close. So, building that program, continuing to go where the boys team's going. Golf program is on its way. So thanks to Coach Lechtenberg for sending me those stats all season long so I could cover this squad, and a great season of the girls as they'll finish and go into the summer and hopefully get some rounds of golf in here. And, look forward to the 2024 season, which comes, maybe 10 short months from now. Then we move on to baseball. May 30th, baseball. You heard about the big game that they won at home against the 5 seed. Well, that put them against number 1 Northfield in Northfield. This was May 30th. Let me talk to you about this game. Like I said, it was on the road. Northfield, beautiful facilities. I went there when Brooklyn had a softball game this year. Beautiful facilities. Colton Parker is going to get the start for this game. Tigers, huge underdog against the number 1 seed. Raiders have a strong team. It would be scoreless in the first. In the bottom of the second, Northfield put 4 runs on the board, but then Stewartville, we answered back in the top of the third as Luke Hebel would get on with a walk, moved over to second by older brother AJ Hebel. He hit a single to left field, and then Sickink would fly out to center, but Luke was taken from second, moved to third, and then what happened? Reed Neubauer with 2 outs, baby, would hit one to the left side of the field. RBI single in the top of the 4th. Stewartville would score again on the backs of a few Northfield heirs. Klunder would score on a Schreiber's at bat, making it 4-2, still in favor of Northfield. Unfortunately, the Raiders would get 2 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th and move on to a 7-2 victory over our Tigers, and we would drop this game. Final score 7-2. But we're not out of it yet. This is double elimination. Northfield 7-2. So it was Stewartville 2 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. Northfield, I'm trying to get out of the way because I think it's in this lower right-hand corner. Northfield, 7 runs on 5 hits, 3 errors. Couple runs there in the third and fourth for the Tigers, but just not enough. Colton Parker got the start. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 4 runs. 3 of those earned, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. Ali Tapia, 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. In terms of hitting, AJ Hebel and Reed Neubauer, those are the guys you see in the pictures right here. Both of them went 2 for 4. Neubauer added a stolen base and an RBI. Colton Parker, he was 1 for 3, as was Brady Pickett and Jace Klug. Titan Klunder and Luke Hebel each scored a run. Let's move on. Softball. Softball against Cassia Manonville. It was do or die for the softball team. We were now in the elimination bracket, as you could see, after losing to Winona. Winona in the semifinals. We needed to win to move on, otherwise the season was going to be done. We're going to face a familiar opponent. We faced them quite often, but only once this year. Casson Manorville Comets, they already owned a 6-4 win over us earlier in the season, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Well, Coach Peterson turned to freshman phenom pitcher Sydney Clark, who brought in a 6-2 record, and a pitcher who had some serious success the last time she faced the Comets. I think she went 3 innings pitched. I don't know if she allowed to run that game. This one would be played on neutral territory in Austin. Cassia Manonville would get on the board first in the bottom of the opening inning. A solo home run to center field. It made it 1-0, but that must have woke the bats up by the Tigers. Sydney Clark would lead off the top of the second. She would get on with a common error, would be out on a fielder's choice ground ball by Martinson. So Hannah now was on first base with just 1 out. Tressa Smith singles to left field. Ladies on first and second out. Savannah Hadeen lays down a bunt. They can't make a play. Bases loaded with just 1 out. Martinson took advantage of a pass ball to score, tied the game at 1. Smith then moved to third, Hadeen to second. Well, first base open. Cammie Elson gets there on a, I don't know if it's a pass ball. It's a drop third strike. Nonetheless, Smith also scored on the pass ball. That would make it 2-1. Veronica Mitchell hits a hard grounder. She gets thrown out at first, but Hadeen would score, making it 3-1 Stewartville. Elena Layton lays down a perfect bunt single to get on. That scored Elson. And then Josie Cahoon, who has been having a fantastic year, the senior second baseman has, smokes one to center. Layton wheels on. Coach Peterson waving her around. She would score. Cahoon with the RBI double, and the Tigers would answer back in emphatic fashion and take a 5-1 lead after 2. In the top of the third, Sydney Clark would single up the middle. Hannah Martinson lays down a perfect sacrifice bunt to move courtesy runner Emma Rowan over to second. Then we have Tressa Smith hits a line drive to right field. Rowan scores. Hadeen would draw a walk, so Tigers on second and first with just 1 out. Elson would ground into a fielder's choice at third base, so still 2 ladies on with 2 outs. But then Veronica Mitchell comes up absolutely huge, hits a double to right field, scoring Hadeen. Tigers go up 7-1. The Comets would score 1 in the bottom half of the inning, so it would be 7-2 Tigers after 3 innings. In the 4th inning, back-to-back singles by Clark and Grace Elton puts 2 girls on with just 1 out. Fielder's choice to third makes it 2 outs, but Tressa Smith, who I'm telling you had the game of her life at the plate, singles to center field, scoring 1, making it 8-2 Stewartville. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Casson would score 2 to cut the lead to 4. Nothing happened in the 5th, and then in the top of the 6th, Martinson would walk. Tressa Smith would get her fourth hit of the game, put 2 Tigers on with 2 outs. Hadeen hits a hard ground ball. Comets can't handle it. Martinson would score, make it 9-4. Comets tried threatening in the bottom of the 6th, but a huge double play by Veronica Mitchell. I think she caught it and doubled up the girl at first, shut that down. Stewartville would just need 1 more half inning of a stops, and they would do just that in the bottom of the 7th. 1, 2, 3 inning on the back of 2 strikeouts by Clark, raised her game total to 10 total strikeouts, and the Tigers pull off the upset and move on. They get their 3rd win in the section playoffs, and they would move on to face the Byron Bears in the second half of a doubleheader. Just a fantastic game. Let's run down the stats here. You see it 9-4. Stewartville 9 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. Cassia Manderville 4 runs on 9 hits, 3 errors. Sydney Clark was fantastic on the mound against the Comets. 9 hits, scattered those all around, 4 runs, 4 walks, but 10 strikeouts. She was also 2 for 4 at the plate. Tressa Smith, I said she had the game of her life. 4 for 4 against Ella Babcock. That's pretty darn good if you ask me. She had 2 RBIs and a run scored. Elena Layton, she was 2 for 5 with a run and an RBI. Josie Cahoon, fantastic year for Josie. Fantastic year. 2 for 5, a double and RBI. Veronica Mitchell was 1 for 4 with that double. She had 2 RBIs on the day. That meant we went to face the Byron Bears, the number 2 seed, right after this. Byron lost to Winona, I think it was 5-3. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember, and I didn't write it down. I know it was a close game, though. Winona, fantastic team. Byron, one of the best teams in the state. Stewartville would need to really dig deep and beat these girls. You got Macy Borowski out there, probably going to be, I would imagine, pretty soon be named the HVL Conference Player of the Year. You got our stud 8th graders that we just love, but, Martin, you got Max Steele, and you got behind the dish. So smooth she is. She's just so smooth. You know who I'm talking about. First ad. Caden's first ad. And then you got Hattie Mathry. I mean, just outstanding crew there in Byron. Stewartville, though. We were going to try to run Clara out there. She would have to dig deep after throwing like over 120 pitches, I think, in the first game. We were going to run her out there again because the last time we played, she held them 2-0, I think was the final score, 2-0. So Clara had some success against Byron. We were going to try to do that again. Stewartville, how about this? Would jump on the Bears right away. Elena Layton led off the game with a double. Josie Cahoon put it down to sacrifice bunt. That moved Layton over to third. Grace Elton would drive one to center. That scored Layton. The Tigers were up 1-0 on one of the best teams in the state. Oh, I gotta love that. This light too bright for me. I gotta put a little thing over the top, otherwise it shines too bright in my eye. Anyway, Clar was trying to, shut him down, and she would do that through the first couple innings. She held the Bears scoreless through 2 innings. In the bottom of the third, though, Byron would score 2, and then they would tack on another 3 in the bottom of the 5th. Macy Borowski dominant on the mound once again. She had 12 strikeouts. She scattered 4 hits, and she led the Bears to the win. 5-1 was the final score, and the Bears would go back into that championship bracket to take on Winona. They would have to take 2 from them, but the Tigers would be out. But a lot to be proud of for this team. How about 3 wins in sections and getting into the top 3? Incredible job by Coach Peterson and her staff as they finished the section playoffs 3-2, and I believe their final season record was 9-11. So let's run down the box score here. Stewartville loses 5-1 to Byron. 1 run in the first inning. Byron had 5 runs on 10 hits, 1 error. Stewartville 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. Sydney Clark 5 innings pitched. Give credit to the freshman trying to go back-to-back games against 2 of the top teams in the conference. 10 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Tressa Smith came on in the 6th inning through a scoreless 6th inning. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Elena Layton, Josie Cahoon, Grace Elton, Savannah Hadeen all had hits. Layton with a run. Cahoon and Hadeen both had doubles, and then Grace Elton with that RBI that we talked about there in the first inning. Here is your group of seniors. Fantastic. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 of them. So big thanks to all of them that contributed to this program. Put together a successful run here in playoffs. I mean, to finish in the top 3, I think you got to be proud of that. So great job by those girls. Baseball, back in action after dropping the game against Northfield. They would go on into the elimination, so winner take all, right? This one against Austin Packers was in Tiger Nation. You see Stewartville's record there, 16-6. I don't remember what seed Austin was. Doesn't matter. It was win or go home. Tigers or Packers. Austin batting first. They got out to a fast start with 2 runs in the top of the first as Stewartville came to bat already behind in the bottom half of the inning. AJ Hebel would walk. Owen Sicken would move him all the way over to third on a single to right center. Sikic would score, score. I don't know. Oh, he stole second. That meant we had guys on second and third with no outs. Reed Neubauer would hit a grounder to third. We traded an out for a run, which we do a lot of times. So Hebel would score. Sikic would move over to third on the throw to get Neubauer out. Colton Parker would lace a grounder to second. Again, traded an out for a run. Tigers tied it up at 2 after 1 inning of play. Austin Bats came out hot again. 3 runs in the top of the second, and Stewartville found themselves down 5-2 going in the bottom of the third. Neubauer would walk, and so would Titan Clunder, putting guys on first and second with just 1 out. Pickett would fly out, but it looks like Neubauer may have been taken as he made it to third on that particular at-bat. It looks like maybe a double steal here. Clunder going to second, Neubauer going home. It happened on the same at-bat. Don't quote me on that, but Stewartville would cut the lead to 2 as it was now 5-3 going into the 5th inning. Austin would score in the top of the 5th and now lead it 6-3, and that was the score after 5 with the Tigers going 3 up, 3 down at the plate. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Stewartville Bats came came alive. They didn't hit their snooze. They woke up. In the bottom of the sixth, this is what happened. Jace Klug was put on with a hit by pitch, but he was thrown out at second on a fielder's choice on the Schreiber at bat. So Zach was on first, would be moved over to second on single up the middle by sophomore Luke Hebel. AJ Hebel would hit one to left field. That scored Schreiber, younger brother Luke, netting us 2 runs. AJ ended up on third after an error by Austin with just 1 out. A deep fly ball by Neubauer was deep enough for AJ to tag up and score as the Tigers net 3 in the bottom of the 6th inning, and we have a tie game going into the 7th. What a time to be alive. Playoff baseball. Listen to this. Top of the 7th, first 2 guys ground out, right? 5th batter walks, 6th batter comes up on a full count, rips one to center field for a double. The guy that was on first is off to the races, right? He takes second, he's rounding third, he's going in, coming home for the go-ahead run, and Owen Sicking fires an absolute laser home, hoses him at the plate, cuts it down, keeps the game tied, and gets us out of the inning. Just absolutely huge. Stewartville goes scoreless in the bottom of the 7th, and we would be going to, if this was basketball, we'd be going to overtime. We'd be going to the 8th inning. Let's see what happens here in my notes. We would hang a 0 on Austin in the top half of the 8th inning. First 2 Stewartville hitters in the bottom of the 8th fly out, so 2 outs. AJ Hebel gets on with his single, and here's the play I want you to see. I got to listen to this because I think there's some audio. Here. All right, here it is. Are you ready? This is how I would imagine it to go. All right, so you got 1 on, 2 outs, tie ball game. Owen Sicking steps up to the plate. It's a 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and driven deep. It's back. It's deep. It could be. It might be. It is. Oh, walk-off home run by Owen Sicking. Puts the Tigers in the next round. Here comes Hebel coming in to score. His arms are up. Rounded third, giving him the fist pumping. Owen, the whole kitchen sinking. Doesn't only throw a laser. He hits a home run to walk this off. And oh my God, Colton Parker, reckless abandon, takes him down. We got a pile. Everybody be careful. We need everybody for the next game. What an ending for Stewartville. Owen, the whole kitchen sinking, does it all there at the end of the game. Carries the Tigers into the playoffs. Colton Parker with a perfect form tackle. I think it was a sack. Incredible. Did you hear that, lady? Who's got it? Nobody's got it. That's who's got it. Nobody. It went over the fence. Awesome. Oh, let's move it on. So we win it 8-6 on the 2-run walk-off by Sicking. There, you see him rounding the bases. AJ Hebel's so pumped as he's rounding. Incredible. Titan Clunder, 7-8. Well, let's run down here. Austin, 6 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. Stewartville, 8 runs on 7 hits, 4 errors. But how about these stats? Titan Clunder, 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 runs, only 4 earned, or 6 runs, only 4 earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Ty Brown came in, actually got the win there in extra innings. 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, no runs allowed, 1 strikeout. AJ Hebel, 3 for 4, a double and 3 runs scored. Awesome game for the senior second baseman. Owen Sicking, 2 for 4. The home run, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases. What can't this kid do? Reed Neubauer, he had 2 RBIs, a run scored, a stolen base. Colton Parker, he had the RBI and the the sack of Owen Sicking as he scored. Zach Schreiber, 1 for 4 with a run scored. Luke Hebel, 1 for 3 with a run scored. That means we move on to take on Winona. This one, Stewartville coming in at 17-6. I believe Winona was the 7 seed is what I have there. Stewartville, staying alive in entertaining fashion, but now it's again, win or go home against the Windhawks, and we'll see what happens. Stewartville would be the home team in this one. We would get 1 run in the bottom of the first. Owen Sicking hit a double, would be moved over to third on a fielder's choice by a Neubauer grounder, I believe, and scored on a single by Colton Parker, giving the Tigers a 1-0 lead after 1. In the bottom of the third, Sicking would get plunked. He would make it over to second on a Winona error, and then stole third before scoring on an error by the catcher. Don't know if it was a pass ball or what, but nonetheless, 2-0 Stewartville. Winona would tie it up with 2 runs in the top of the 4th, but Stewartville answered back in the bottom of the 5th. AJ Hebel hits a leadoff double. He takes third on a pass ball, scores on a wild pitch to get us our run back, and take a 3-2 lead going into the 6th inning. Winona would score 3 in the top of the 6th and hold a 5-3 lead with the Tigers down to their last 2 at-bats in the bottom of the 6th. Stewartville would go 3 up, 3 down. We would blank the Windhawks in the 7th. Down 2, Owen Sicking gets on, single to the left side with just 1 out, but they would cut down the lead runner at second by with a ground ball ball by Neubauer. 2 outs, Neubauer on first. Colton Parker rips one to left center. Reed Neubauer all the way around to score, and we now have a 1-run ball game. Unfortunately, a ground out to shortstop would end a spectacular season for Coach Smith's baseball team, as the Tigers would lose this one 5-4, but incredible season. 17-7 was their final record. I think they put their name in the hat for team of the year after running 17 wins off here in 2023. You see this final score there. Winona 5 runs on only 5 hits, 2 errors. Stewartville 4 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. Colton Parker threw 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, only 4 earned, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts. He was also 3 for 4 at the plate with 2 RBIs. Ali Tapia 1 1/3 innings pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, I believe, for the freshman. AJ Hebel, he was 1 for 3, a double, a run scored, had a fantastic playoff run. AJ Hebel did. Owen Sickig 2 for 2 with a double, 2 runs scored, a stolen base. Jace Klug 2 for 3. Zach Schreiber 1 for 3. There's our picture of our 2, 4, 6, 7 seniors on the team. So big thanks to those guys as they go out in an amazing run. 17 wins on the year is nothing to hang your head about, that's for sure. The last thing we have to talk about, track and field individual sections to see who goes on to state. This took place June 1st and June 3rd. It was a 2-day event, and I'll run it down based on how the events were coming in, whether it's boys or girls. Just as the events were running, I was clipping them and pasting them in my document here, so we'll run it down right here. The first event that went on, 3,200 meter run, we had a 9th place finisher, Nora Campbell, 12:58 was her time. Then we had the boys 3,200 meter run. Josh Langseth, the sophomore, ran 10:11, good for 3rd place. You need to be in the top 2 to go to state. So Langseth just heartbroken. He was 5, maybe 6 seconds out of going to state. We also had Isaiah Fitzgerald, the senior, ran 10:16 in his final 3,200 meter run as a Tiger. In the 110 meter hurdles, our top guy, Cam Thompson, ran 17.59, good for 6th place, and Luke Eastman 9th place, 18-17. Top 9 qualify for the prelims. Actually, I think it's like maybe the winners of each heat and then the next 7, but either way, the top 9 runners, as you see here, we got 2 guys in Thompson and Eastman. Then we had the prelims for the 100-meter dash. Claire Olson would qualify with a 13.78. She would run again on Saturday. Boys 100-meter dash, we had Dylan Scanlon ran 11.77. Unfortunately, just the top 9, like I said, would qualify, so he was done with that particular race. In the 400-meter dash, Audrey Schindler would qualify. This is prelims as well. She would run 1 minute, 0.72 seconds. She took 3rd place. That would move her into the run on Saturday. Just missing out Addie Walterman in 10th place, Olivia Meyer in 11th place, but they are young and they'll be back. I know that. Boys 400 meter dash. In terms of qualifiers, we didn't have anybody. We didn't have anybody in the top 9 as Ben Hagen just missed out by 3/100ths of a second, 53.70. We also had Jason Schindler, 55.46, and Jack Buntrock, 55.58. That moves us on to 300 meter hurdles prelims. Now, she didn't even have to run in the finals because look at this. Haley Strum, automatic time. The qualifying time you need, 45.47. She ran 45.23, which beats her own section record. You can see it there, 45.72. Automatically qualified for state just based on time, but she would move in to that the final heats, which was going to be raced on Saturday. Girls high jump, Audrey Schindler, so close. 5'2", she was tied for 2nd place. I believe they had to go back to the tiebreaker like 3 jumps before that, and the Casamaniver girl would win the tiebreaker. So Schindler just misses out on a berth to state in the high jump by a tiebreaker, but she still does well at 5'2". Olivia Meyer finished her season 5 feet, which is a PR for her. In the long jump for girls, who's our top finisher here? Avery Spencer, 8th place, 15 feet, 11.5 inches. Again, just the top 2 go unless you hit that state qualifying standard. In the pole vault for 2A, we didn't get anybody to go on, but Nathan Geechee was our top finisher at 11 feet. Eli Shai and John Coliano both jumped 10.6, good for 8th and 9th. In the shot put, look at this. We go 1-2 with our big boys. Tor Lunas, 50 feet, 7.25 inch, and Peyton Byrne, bad knee injury, on one leg, still throws it 3 feet further than the next closest guy as he goes 49 feet, 9.75 inches. Hopefully his knee gets better for the run at state this next week. He just participated in disc, I would imagine, or in shot put. He didn't throw the disc. I would imagine it's due to that knee injury. So he'll do as well as he can in shot as long as that knee holds up. In the 200-meter dash, boys, for prelims, we got Logan Johnson into the final heat. He ran 23:36, his best of the, not only the season, his PR. So outstanding as he would move on to Saturday. Girls 4x800 meter relay. We would take 7th place. It was the team of Langseth, Geechee, Campbell, and Walterman. Ran it in a time of 10:48. As you see, Byron and Winona would move on to the state tournament. For the 110 meter hurdles, this was the finals. This was the one that we had 2 guys qualify for. Luke Eastman, 17.39. Cam Thompson, 17.79. Good for 6th and 8th place, respectively. Again, top 2 go to state. For the 4x200 meter relay, our girls would finish in 7th place. That was Clement, Steele, Olson, and Raymaker. 150 was the time. They needed to be under 147 to go to state. Winona and Red Wing would be able to do that. Boys 1600 meter run, our guy took 5th place. That's Josh Langseth, 4:37. Incredible time. Just 6 seconds off a state qualifying time. And then Isaiah Fitzgerald, 4:47 for him, good for 9th place. 4x100 meter run, we would take 5th place behind Johnson, Scanlon, Wood, and Buntrock, 43:98. Wasika and Red Wing. Wasika had some studs on their sprint team. They ran 42:38, just incredible. And then in 300 meter hurdles, are you kidding me? She didn't need to run, but she did, and she dominated by 3 seconds. Haley Strum, 300 meter hurdles, 44.63. Incredible. Can't wait to watch what she does at state in this particular event. In the 200 meter dash, we had a 4th place finish by Logan Johnson, 22.89. Very respectable. That was his PR. In the 4x400 meter relay for the boys, Stewartville would take 10th place behind Root, Langseth, Hagen, and Schindelar. 3:46 was their time. Winona and Faribault would move on. For the pole vault, Megan Urban, PRs at the best time, 10 feet 3 inches, as she would win this event. She's going to state. Incredible. We also had Izzy Shy finish in 10th place, 8 feet even. Brianna Tran in 11th place, 7 feet 6 inches for her. Then in the long jump for boys, 3rd place, Charlie Wood. What a heartbreaker. Just missed out, 20 feet 9 and 1/2 inches. Needed to be in the top 2. We also had Sawyer Wood in 12th place, 18 feet 10 and 1/4 inch. In the girls triple jump, we had Avery Spencer in 13th place, 31 feet 3 and 3/4. Claire Olson right behind her by 1/4 inch, 31 3.5. 13th and 14th for our Stewartville girls. In the discus, Tor Lunas absolutely dominated, 162.4. So he went 1st place in shot, 1st place in disc, and hopefully he can make some waves here in the state tournament this week. We also had Ridge Hats, the sophomore, threw it 119 feet 1 inch. That was good for 11th place. So that's moving on. All those people are moving on to the state tournament. That happens this week, June 8th through the 10th. It's at St. Michael Albertville High School. We'll try to keep you. That's what's going to be the rundown in episode 30. This is episode 38. In episode 39, this is what we'll be running down, is the state track and field results on the Stewartville Tigers and how they represent Tiger Nation. You have some people that are up there that could potentially make some waves, get some medals. I think Haley Strum in the 300, that's one to keep an eye on. Lunas and Byrne in shot put. Lunas and discus. I mean, fantastic. We got the 4x4 running. Carter Anderson, he already qualified. I don't know where my results went for that. Did I ever talk about Carter Anderson? Carter Anderson qualified for triple jump and high jump. I don't know why I don't remember talking about those, but he did. So incredible. I believe he set the section record for both of those too. So Carter Anderson will be busy. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to watch, and we'll follow along here June 8th through the 10th at STMA. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I got for you. I apologize for this being late. We had a busy weekend. This is Monday night late. I should be getting to bed, but I want to make sure we got this recorded, get it out there. Episode 38, running down the baseball season finished, softball season finished, golf season is now finished. Thanks to all those coaches, Coach Peterson, Coach Smits, Coach Lechtenberg for getting me all those results. Couldn't do it without them. And next week or whenever I can get it done, episode 39 will run down the track and field results. And then episode 40, the one you're all waiting for, and it's probably going to take me a couple weeks to put together because it takes so much time to put it together, the Tiger Nation Awards. what is it, the 6th or 7th annual Tiger Nation Awards, where we hand out all of our favorite awards: male and female athlete of the year, team of the year, play of the year, breakthrough athlete of the year, best game, all that stuff. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to do that, and that will run down our season 5. But I think that's all I got for you here on episode number 38. Let's put it in the book, slam it shut, because we are done. Episode number 38 and season number 5. All done. Good to go. I appreciate you being in here with me. I appreciate you following along, and I appreciate you cheering on Tiger Nation and all the amazing athletes and teams that we have here in Stewartville. Join me next week. We'll run down the track and field results, and then Tiger Nation Awards in maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Who knows? It's usually around the 4th of July that we release that. Thanks for tuning in here, Tiger Nation. Until next time, remember that you're never wrong to do the right thing. Take care, Tiger Nation.